When the oppressed have been successfully brainwashed and mentally enslaved by their oppressors, they'll perceive those of us who are not brainwashed and that tells them the truth in an attempt to free their minds as being raving lunatics. Nonetheless, those of us who know the truth must teach African proverb. We must teach the truth whether it fills the room or clears it out. For at least if we fail, we will have failed while daring greatly, so that our places will not be remembered amongst those of our people that are so brainwashed and mentally enslaved by the white society that they go from their cradles to their graves, having never known the truth, instead believing only the white society's lies. Therefore, they live and die having lived their entire lives being mentally enslaved by the white society. Our true reality. The hidden true fact is that the true reason why many black people now bleaches our skins, wear Europeans weaves, perceives ourselves as being our own worst enemies, and reveres our oppressors in spite of such a brutally horrific history of the contrary, is because a value system that serves and protects the system of white supremacy is being systematically and unrelentingly embedded into the unsuspecting collective minds of the black masses. It's being done through subliminal messaging. Subliminal messages are hidden messages that are deliberately designed to bypass the conscious mind, but becomes embedded into the subconscious mind without the targeted population even knowing it. There are hidden subliminal messages that are embedded within the education we're taught, the nightly news reports that we receive, and also embedded within the movies and TV shows that we watch when we think that we're just being entertained. Subliminal messages that are designed to make the black masses think and behave in ways that serves and protects the system of white supremacy. Regardless of how intelligent people are, if it's possible to control the input of information and media images that people receive, it's entirely possible to control what people will believe. Case, point, and proof. The white society's overrepresentation of black on black crime are intentionally designed to subliminally embed the belief into the collective minds of the black masses that it's now we that are now our worst enemies. It's how the white society shifted the collective aggressions of the black masses away from them and redirected it against and towards ourselves. Its ultimate goal is to destroy the black unity and cohesion that was historically the cornerstone of the civil rights gain, and it was a crucial factor of the survival of African Americans throughout more than 400 years of white racial oppression. The collective minds of black people is being subliminally programmed by the white society unrelentingly. Here's the reason why the white society falsely negatively distorts the media images of Africa and miseducates us to believe that Africans were illiterate and uncivilized before the Europeans invaded. Doing so subliminally embeds the message into the collective minds of the black masses that the white society's invasion and enslavement of our ancestors actually benefited us. Once that message has been successfully embedded into the minds of black people, it literally makes many of us feel indebted to the white society for having invaded and enslaved our ancestors, because we now perceive it as having been a rescue mission. It also makes us more reluctant to demand the reparation that we're still owed. This is all possible because people's perceptions and behaviors align with the information that they receive. The white society therefore exploits their monopoly over the information that black people receives by providing us false information that makes our thoughts and behaviors align in ways that are beneficial to the white society. Most common beliefs that are properly held by the black population were embedded into our collective our minds through this method. There's also a subliminal message programming behind the reason why all health study results that we receive favors whites over blacks. Have you ever stopped to consider just how cartoonishly unrealistic that scenario actually is? The true hidden reason why virtually all study results that we receive favors whites over black is to subliminally embed the myth of white racial superiority into the collective subconscious minds of the black masses. White social scientists determined a long time ago that doing so makes black people more compliant with white dominance over our lives. And the programming is so effective, in many cases, it causes many black people to prefer white dominance over our lives. People function based upon the information that are repeatedly fed into their minds. All you have to do is keep feeding them certain information through false media ads, falsely scripted movies, miseducation, and you can steer an entire population towards an applied objective. This is what's been done to black people. They fool us, and now we fool ourselves to believe that we are being controlled by a silly slave syndrome myth. The truth is, through the white society's monopoly over information that black people receive, they fed us many lies that have embedded a value system into our collective minds that serves their white society. This is the truth of our plight and condition. If you're holding on to the belief that it's a Willie Lynch myth, you are misinformed. You are among those who are ignorant of the truth. We must function based on what is actually true in order to liberate ourselves. If we keep believing in those falsehoods, then all of our liberating strategies that come from believing those falsehoods will also be flawed. We must function based upon what is true to develop the proper kind of strategies that are necessary to liberate ourselves. This is the reason why white oppressive forces have spread so much falsehoods into the black community in regards of our plight and condition. I've just told you the truth. Now let's work on developing counter strategies to liberate ourselves. One love and peace.